Some people are ugly, and that's a fact. It's like saying no one is short, everyone is tall. Ugly isn't my identity or quote safe space, but I am ugly. We don't tell short to just believe that they're tall, and then they too will be able to get things from top of the shelf without using a stool. Commented by Lethal Lemon Lime on a video by Christina Ayala, a therapy session for anyone feeling ugly. Being ugly, from my experience, I might as well just share this now, and it's currently 3:31 in the morning, the 15th of June on a Sunday, and I do miss my YouTube channel so much because YouTube thinks that talking about men doing Nolly, Kriya, or stomach vacuum is too inappropriate for them. And I just hope that for anyone that wants to see this and maybe want to support me in the end, if you want to help training on YouTube or Team YouTube on Twitter, that would mean a lot. If not, that's fine. I just feel really, actually not only visible, but I feel that people see me as a threat. So basically, to explain more of this. Now, this is not to basically put down for the ones that are attractive that go to sexual harassment. Even though they kind of sometimes brag about it, and that it has affected much, or that they have anxiety going on in public, and I get that, but I just say when you are really unattractive, it's worse. So if I can bring this down, I have been bullied since the 8th grade, right? So imagine you are a fly. You just try to get around with life, and you're just buzzing your way silently just to basically survive. And when people see you flying around, they immediately would just hear this your little quietness or you mumbling and would you up some type of way. Or basically want to assault you because since you're so ugly looking, it's legal. I always feel that it's legal to kill someone that's ugly. I guess if that's the case, I would have been dead. I'm trying to use the fly metaphor, okay? I remember that part of my teacher was a mess. I don't remember his name. I think he was Indian, I think. He looked Indian or maybe Arab. I don't remember. Okay, and I remember seeing him at Starbucks later on. Years later. I would have spoken up to him why you bully me and whatnot, but well, he's just a teacher. Teachers, they're mean and stupid, right? The thing is, though, it's just the students that basically caused my trauma. The first time I started to self-harm was when I was 13. And I was a special ed at the time. And I remember that I was chatting with one of the classmates I had, okay, because I barely met them for the first time. It was the first day. And when the teacher shouted my name, Dion, I had to move to the table. I got really quiet. And there was a group of 5 boys, right? I think they're Hispanic, though. But this is not a racial discrimination thing or racial bullying. They looked at me so meanly by moving, let's just say, 2 feet back. Well, I think it's a foot back. It was as though they want to beat me up for no apparent reason. The whole class got quiet. It was a classroom of maybe 26 to 28 kids. It was pretty average. And I never felt humiliated. And I didn't tell my teacher about this because I thought it was normal. And this basically played with me throughout high school. I don't want to talk about the high school phase, unless those are interested. And even after high school, when I tried to go online, let's just say a gay app called or named Grindr, just to meet men with even older men, right? Because yes, I was attracted to older men at the time, and I'm proud to say that. They would block me. I still remember. Well, again, this is well before I knew I was a spade. If you know what being a spade is, then look it up. Well, just look up what does someone mean when they're a spade on Google. That helps. Okay? Especially a black spade, that actually helps. Because spades are black. But, well, not always, but let's just say that would be the symbol I'm going to use for this video here. And I remember there was this really cute, I was in my early 20s, or was I the age or 19, or early 20s, and there was this really cute mixed, tall black boy. I think he looks black. Okay, he was 6'3", he was 200 pounds on his profile. It was a picture of him kind of like stretching and showing his stomach. It was so hot. He was so, because I thought like, wow, he looks cute. I don't even know what he looks like, right? And again, I didn't care about sex mates because this is when I knew about a boy's body, right? Because there's nothing wrong with finding the same sex attractive. And I got so scared messaging him, right? Because I like tall boys, I do. And he blocked me. I just said, hello, how are you? Right? And I remember seeing his face on another gay app as well. And I think he did message me though. But I'm not sure if he said he was not interested. He wasn't clear. It hurts. It does. Rejection does hurt. And I know for people to say, well, you got to get over it. It's hard to get over rejection. Especially if you have rejection button dysmorphia. I looked that up from another YouTuber that talked about this. I hope Justy got a lot of views for it because his animations are so cute. No music, no intro. It's just drawings to explain about certain mental conditions, right? It's when someone, let's just say, if you don't have ADHD, you may not relate though because your brain tends to overthink, especially with autism because you overstimulate a lot. It's when you basically would feel that there is going to be a World War III going on in your heart. It is that bad, honestly. And for people to say, well, yeah, you can keep facing it. Well, what if I get a panic attack? Well, get over it. It's difficult. It could basically really harm one's health. Not just mentally, but physically. Because people are so rude, at least in mine these days. It's not as though when I was in high school, when I could just message one of them people's profile picture or profiles, when we had the friend list, they would say, hey, what's up? And they would just subscribe. Now, it's as though it's a felony defense when you want to basically be a human being to say hello. I can see why so many people, I guess it's Generation Z, whatever. Well, maybe it is a generation. I'm sure all generations, right? I'm a Zillennial, that counts. Just for wanting to interact with people. And for me personally, I've been crapped up in my mother's apartment after we got evicted last August. I've not left out this house once. Well, unless you can count opening the door, walking down the stairs, and looking at the fireworks during New Year's, but that's about it. I've never left the house. I never have. And I know how people would tell me constantly, get a job, you ugly bitch. And wanting to just mock my face, make memes about me, make a Discord, just even making fun of my 9/11 t-shirt that would honor the victims that would have survived by the airplane not crashing into the Twin Towers. Yes, I've heard that they mocked my t-shirt because I'm guessing they would say it's okay that, no, it's funny that these people died of 9/11. Why? Why? I made that t-shirt to honor the people that died. And it was not easy to design that t-shirt. It took you 5 hours to make. And I would wave the American flag because I respected people that passed, especially in my state where a handful of victims, I think a dozen, that died from that incident. Okay? I just hope for my non-Americans you still know what 9/11 is. If not as much, then I understand. But at least for my Americans, I hope that you don't laugh at that. If so, I do not want you on this channel, whomever you may be. But to explain more, being ugly is practically a death sentence, but you're alive. Okay, let's just say it's more of a grim reaper, a pre-grim reaper sentence. What I mean by that is you're already facing death of constant pain of rejection. You basically feel worse than invisible. You feel that you're going to get killed at any moment. Just for wanting to interact with people. Again, I just want friendships. I'm not interested in dating. I just, even if I was, I'd probably be way too much work. But this not having friendships, though, I'm talking about in person. Okay? It really, 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 really hurts. And, well, especially for online, I do have abandonment issues. Because I do have CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's supposed to be if you go to multiple awful events, not just one. That would be PTSD. So the usual people thinking of someone with PTSD if you're in the army or if you see a car accident, right? Now this for me, let's just say for my PTSD, if someone would call me bro, man, dude, it's a trigger for me, right? It really is. Or if a guy was said a nude pic, that would be a trigger for me. If that makes sense. Or anyone being sexual around me. That is a trigger. I got multiple triggers. And a ton of people, it's just they don't really care. It's just as though if you are attractive, okay? Now, I know this sounds hateful of me, okay, and a Shrek way of me saying this, but attractive people don't really have problems as much. Now, even if they do, at least people rush to their aid and feel decent for them. Now, if you're ugly, talking about this, people would say, hey, stop talking about that. Don't need to assault you? Honestly, I mean, at least that's how my head would feel that way because I guess I am schizophrenic because this has to be one of the signs. I'm not diagnosed. Well, let's just say I'm so diagnosed because I had this for years without knowing it. I do hear noises that are not there. Seeing things that are not there. I'm not sure what doctors would say about that, but yes, I do hear things that are not there. I mean, once in a while, I do. I do quite a bit. It actually makes sense. And it's just it's a little hard to talk about it because I'm not mentally well. I feel that I'm not mentally well to be around people. I feel that I have to be, let's just say, a cookie cutter, okay, to be around others that have a job. But I have to be really attractive in order to feel that I'm allowed to have friendships, right? Especially my age. I'm sure for my viewers start maybe in their 20s, if I have any, your life is way, way more well off than mine. I feel that I've already been behind in life, and I always feel that it is a competition, right? Even though we're all going to die in the end. It's the same way if you basically playing Smash Ultimate, right? The game is going to be over, the match is going to be over, but basically, let's just say that instead of the ones that get knocked out first, it will be knocked out last. What I mean by that is, so the ones that are attractive, you're already going to be winning the match. You're going to get an audience clapping for you, right? And then for the ones that are ugly, they get knocked out first, and they already been gotten in the match. I'm not sure if that's a good Smash Brothers metaphor, because of how you're still playing the game, and you basically are doing a lot. You're impressing more people, but if you're knocked out, player one, defeated. I always thought it's player one PP'd for some reason. When I used to play Super Smash Bros. Melee a lot growing up, and I always wonder how's the life being attractive. I mean, honestly, I don't want to get surgery. I don't want to be taller. Absolutely not. I love being short, even though sometimes I feel that I'm not short enough to be quote unique. I'm just a dull, short person. I am a short statured. I don't look like it though. I don't. But for the ones who are attractive, it must be really lovely to have people that would be kinder to you. Now, I know you get harassed or whatever, but it's the same way for people that are hideous. Honestly, in fact, people would see you as a threat for no apparent reason. Or they would also sexually harass you. That happened in my experience. And they just wouldn't care. Honestly, I have many experiences with that. I don't know how it's like having a group of friends to hang out with. I don't know how it's like just to having a gaming channel and having people just laughing with you in a good way. Not just basically making memes of you, wanting to laugh at your suicide attempt, and not be able to have newcomers on your live streams. I didn't have any newcomers. I do think there's only 3 of them, right, that have been supported to me. No one else. And I guess saying I feel it's unfair because I feel that they have to do the work to offer support. Honestly, that's why I get so jealous of other people. And it also does hurt when people would say, you need to see a therapist. It's as though you want me to join your medical cult. Okay? Honestly, it's not for everyone. Yes, it's good for some people, though. But for most, at least my experience, no. It's the same way if you tell someone to call a suicide hotline. I'm not sure if anyone's interested. Okay, if anyone if ever would see this and you want to join my live stream, in Arizona Mountain Time, I do it around 5 o'clock. Okay, just look up the state of Arizona. We don't have Mountain Time or Daylight Savings here. Okay, it would mean a lot. If not, then it's fine. Okay, also my polls I have, they're botted, and I'm just disappointed. I am. Okay, I forgot to say because I got speech block, which means when I'm talking, I tend to forget what I wanted to share. But being ugly, though, it is practically a Grim Reaper sentence. It is. You basically are just dead, but you're alive because you're seen as a threat to society just for breathing oxygen. Also, there was this anime called Frigotura. It was about a girl with bunny ears, a really cute tall guy with gray hair, then another small girl. It was a weird anime I looked up because they basically kind of assaulted some small girl that was um, spewing out jewelry and they got drowned. I don't know what the heck that anime was, but I guess seeing that really cute girl with big boobs, right? It does remind me of how anime it is compared to anime back then when we had. Well, my mother, she told me growing up, she watched Speed Racer, right? I knew that was an anime. I thought that was here in the US. Okay, she told me she used to watch it when she was little, right? And I even watched Lupin the Third. And it's not all sexualized, even though, yes, there was a sexual woman, but she was human, right? Compared to animes today, it goes beyond sexual, as in, is not realistic, right? It's not how anime was back then when you got some sexual characters. At least they look human, but they don't over sexualize them. And it does kind of worry me for human society because as someone that is hideous, I am. You may think, Indian, you're not hideous. That's your opinion. When you basically would have or go on Grindr, for example, okay, even the gay community doesn't even want me. Well, I'm an ally, okay? Um, when they ask for a face photo of you, you get blocked. They don't even tell you they're not even interested in you. You get blocked. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And this happened to me by so many men on there. Just because I wanted to just not to feel isolated. It hurts. And yes, I do my best to put effort. I do. 1 minute before my favorite time of the night. It's 3:48 right now. I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong. And yet I would get yelled or verbally abused just for existing. I just want to say, for people that are attractive, they do have it easy. Okay, I forgot what video it was, but I guess I'll be gaslighted that, oh, no, we have it difficult too. Honestly, I basically have a ton of money in my bank, and I go with my friends to Starbucks, and we love some TikTok shirts and meeting celebrities, and you're complaining? Honestly, be grateful while I'm basically slurping my mocha frappuccino from your face. Stop complaining, ha! Stop complaining. Honestly. And yeah, that's how I see my mind. I just want to say, if you are an attractive person, I don't want to be around you. I know discriminating because I feel that you're going to discriminate me first. You will see me as a human being. For me, heck, even for people that are unattractive, they even, I want to say discriminate, they would even ghost me. You'd be surprised. I guess what I'm trying to explain is that you have to be around your own league of people. It's the same way that based on the country they're in, they have these beauty roles. It should be like it. I see this channel. It's a great channel. World Friends. You got people of different nationalities, talking to each other, regardless of how they look. But sadly, in society, out in human society, it's not that way because they're in South Korea, right? It's called World Friends. Really great channel. I hardly suggest to view it. Okay, and it's lovely to see they got the cute flags on their chest, right? And they talk about the culture, the country, the language. But I don't know. It just feels like for me personally, I'm ugly globally. Honestly, I am. I don't know what country would accept me. Or just people, if that makes sense. Heck, even when I try to do a TikTok, right? Just talk about maybe speaking a language or whatever. People don't really know that I exist. I do wonder how a ton of people get viewers on TikTok because if you have popularity on TikTok, you basically got those followers being so kind to you on YouTube. I'm very lucky to even, I don't know if I didn't got any new subscribers. People just view away the video. They don't want to give me an opportunity. Imagine you are competing, and let's just say American Idol or the X Factor. Well, maybe America's or British Got Talent. And when people see your face, the judges would. Let me give an example, okay? I would do this. Hi, my name is Dion. Bye. Bye. You're basically other than a Doug Trio that basically caught COVID in the outskirts of Okinawa. Get out. But get out or I'm gonna shoot you. I'm surprised I'm still alive. That's basically my experience of being really ugly. You want to speak, but you get shut out for it. That's why, let's just say, if I could give one more great reason. When you go on subreddit, the sexual ones, let's just say if you go into the massive cock, bulges, dick, gay BBC, which means gay big black cock, or BWC, which is big white cock, BAC, big Asian cock, or there's even Mexican cocks. You see these men are really huge, right? It's amazing to me that men that are huge, they're more masculine. I don't understand how the blood of your organ defines you as a man. It's so weird. So let's just say there's a man that's 6'1", right? If his penis is 4 inches, does that make him less of a man compared to a 5'6" man that is, let's just say, 7.5 inches? No. It's the same for his height. Even though that Flynn Fox guy that I wanted to call out, and I was intimidated because yes, he's a giant, right? A model. I'm not sure if he is a model, and I got scared, I guess, and because he blocked me on my anonymous account. I didn't do anything, never messaged him or whatnot. And yet, I see other Blake profiles that he hasn't blocked, right? And seeing him just giving these, let's just say, people, he's supposed to be bi or pan, okay? Just giving them heart messages or whatever. It's a hurt in the gut because he says, you are beautiful, but shut up, lie. And he say platonic flirting on his page, but he's sexually flirting with people, so that's a lie. I do want him to call out that he needs to be more kinder to people, but since he is over 6 foot, then you know what? And having a big penis, he's huge. At least I think it is. It's scary, kind of, because when you basically not only are tall, but having a big penis, you're seen as a deity. Because people treat them that way. Okay, I guess the followers treat them that way. It hurts. It does. For me, I can't get any followers on Twitter just to speak up my mind. And yes, I still feel lost that I can't get my channel back. I got a little bit jealous by, because she has a lot of subscribers. Her videos are awesome, by the way. Bang Snap, that had Mutahar, AK Ordinary Games, and even Penguin Zero, which is Charlie, that are following her when she wants to treat it that she lost her channel because it was shared throughout Reddit. Yes, I don't have much evidence of how I got my channel. I mean, I do have my email, whatever, as proof, but no one would care. No one would care. That's why my channel's still gone. It's the same way being ugly. People don't want to hear that you exist. They don't. They just want you gone. It hurts. I live with this every day, and I feel trapped. I lack social skills. I do. And people are going to laugh at me, telling me, yeah, this is your fault. Or your mistake. But if someone's attractive, they'll be more sympathetic. That's why when I see some attractive YouTubers, I just don't feel comfortable. If that's discrimination, then I don't know what else is. When I've been discriminated, when I wanted just to form friendships with someone, regardless of how they look, even for the ones who are attractive, not dating or anything. Okay, in that day and nation, honestly, imagine just, it hurts. It does. It reminds me of that video of that, I think he's Swedish, man talk about being ugly, and then he had a girlfriend, in the comment section. Honestly, I would love to have friends that I can meet in person. I do hope he's doing well, though. It took a lot of courage for him to share about him. People are still bashing him. Dude, go to the gym or get a haircut or makeover. You can only do so much. You can still appear ugly. But if someone is really hot, they'll be more friendly to them. I was going to say, if you're a hot person, this is going to sound mean of me, but count your shamrocks. That people don't see as a threat. They won't call the police on you. Okay? Or if they make memes of you. Honestly. Okay? You don't know how easy you have it. Yes, you may have some problems, but I just feel that you don't have as much. I'm sorry. Okay? I am not lying here. You're lying to me when you want to say looks don't matter. They do. They absolutely do. If that was the case, why do so many people that are ugly keep ranting that, yes, I've been rejected, I don't have any friends, I feel so meaningless in life? Okay? Literally. This has been with me for years. I want to actually, there's one more thing I want to share. I know I've been talking for almost a half hour. When I go to Starbucks and meet a couple people, right? When I would see them, like, oh, there's like a group of people that I would talk to, right? I would never see them again. They don't want to ask my phone number, keep in touch. They just walk. I tried there was like a couple of people that I had really great chats with, and when I walk with them, I don't think they were bothered, but this sounds though, oh yeah, can you stop following us? It's not that way, because I thought we were still in a group. They just don't see me that I exist. It hurts. That's why when I used to go for walks, I never interact with people because no one wants to ever interact with me. No one. I always feel that there's no kindness on this earth. And you probably tell me, Dan, there is kindness. Well, for your group, that is. But when I try to get out of my Koopa shell, no one has been kind to me. Honestly, I mean, I'm surprised that I did fail to reach 49 months being clean of self-harm. Because I did cut myself, well, with a fork recently. Even though I didn't, I think the I'm not sure if it does count because it's not a scar. But yes, I did try to self-harm myself with a fork. I did. I was just so devastated. Also, I hate when people say, oh, should we call 911 on Dion or whatever. You just want me to be locked up in the loony bin. Not to mention there was a straight guy, whatever, a viewer. He kind of caused this of my meltdown or whatnot that I basically self-harmed. He did. I wish I caught on his behavior. It felt really awful, and I just don't know why I didn't had been courageous enough to end my own life. I do wish I wasn't here. I do wish I basically had someone I could just get a piggyback, maybe going to, I don't know, a park, or not just the movies, just somewhere that we can interact face to face. Maybe walk into the mall together, taking funny photos. Maybe buying Taco Bell, chatting about what our favorite game is. I would love to have that. But not being taken advantage of. I don't know what a real friendship is. Because I haven't really experienced it. I haven't. And for the ones that do have that, I'm jealous of you. I am so jealous. I am. Honestly, with my 3 decades on this earth, I mean, well, that was my childhood. That I only had one friend. And the funny thing is, it was always long distance. I haven't last talked to him since I was, I think, at high school. It's been that long. He was the only friend I ever had. There was a long story of that. That was the only friend I ever had. So yes, I did have a friend, but it was long distance, right? I guess they want to try to say, I hope that wasn't too much. I guess in order for whomever you may be to feel sympathy for me is if I never had friends from birth. If that makes sense. Right? I I guess what I'm trying to say is friendships are treasure. They're the one piece to life that you could call if you need an emergency or if you're lonely at night. Even if you get your meltdowns. I would love to have a friend that could maybe put up with that. And me, absolutely. But I'm never going to get that. I'm not. Enough said.